It's not really a surprise, but I love anime openings. In fact, there have been titles like Servant X Service where I've binged an entire series just because I love the opening. I admire the way an opening can get you hyped for what each episode has in store, or get you interested if you're not already an avid fan of the series. In this video, I'll be detailing the 5 best anime openings in the winter season, but this is a subjective list, so if you disagree with any of my picks, let me know in the comment section below. I'm obligated to include this one somewhere on the list. I mean, come on! It's Chico with Honeyworks. Chico with Honeyworks? Chico?! It's almost like how, in Cards Against Humanity, I'm incapable of not choosing bees if someone plays it. If an opening is by Chico with Honeyworks, I'm simply incapable of not appreciating it. Nostalgic Rainfall is an adorably sweet opening that really showcases the 2 principal characters of After the Rain, the 17-year-old Akira and the 45-year-old Kondo, and allows us to see a bit of their quirky personalities before jumping into the series proper. I really appreciate the simplicity of the colors and backgrounds. It kind of reminds me of the opening for Aoharu Ride, which is also an opening by Chico with Honeyworks. In that opening, sure, there are segments at the school, but a lot of the visuals are of the cast backdropped by pastel colors and abstract imagery, just like in the opening for After the Rain. If I had to explain why this opening didn't place higher on the list, it would be because it's one of those openings that requires some inside knowledge of the series, especially through symbols like the alpacas, the hamster in the wheel, and the odd creature flexing its muscles. I can guess what they're referencing, but that kind of imagery might be best saved for the ending. I think the opening for Hakata Tonkatsu Ramen's Stray by Kishida Kyodan and the Akabushi Rockets does a few things exceptionally well. 1, the 2 principal characters of the series are given the spotlight and a chance to showcase their personalities, and while they're at it, the supporting cast is given time to show us what they're all about. 2, we're able to see Hakata in all its glory, which gives us an idea of what this place is like, which helps an audience unfamiliar with the series come to a decision on whether they'll keep watching or not. 3, there's an aura of seriousness in the way the opening plays out, but it's not overly so, which is how the series presents itself, at least based on the 6 episodes I've seen to date. Hakata Tonkatsu Ramen's opening focuses on the idea of movement. Almost every shot involving characters, even those without names, has them moving in some profound way. In the beginning of the opening, Banba is looking up, likely meant to represent his cheerful disposition, while Lin is looking down, showing his opposite perspective. It's revealed that they're actually fighting, but as Banba dodges the strike, he smirks as if he's looking at the fight like a game, something that literally shatters Lin's worldview. I could talk more about the other ideas in this opening, but I'd like to wait and see how the series plays out before I say any more. If you'd like to see me take an in-depth look at this opening in a future video, let me know in the comments below. I know, I'm just as surprised as you are that the opening for Citrus made it on this list, but I just can't deny that Azalea by Nano Ripe uses some really cool visual techniques. Right from the start, we have a shot of Yuzu and Mei wearing very similar styles, meant to represent how they might not be as different as they'd like to believe. It's also a shot that returns by the end, as they close the gap and kiss each other. I like the usage of Yuzu's cell phone to show us what's on her mind without being too explicit about it, and no, that wasn't a pun. I've gotta admit, this one might be the most realistic in terms of its camera work. I have a difficult time telling whether it's anime or live action when these quick pans and tracking shots look so realistic. I should also give this opening credit where credit is due for being infinitely safe for work, at least when compared with the opening for the other Resident Yuri anime, Netsuzo Trap. I can't lie, the opening for Junji Ito Collection never fails to get stuck in my head, as if it's a worm bouncing around on the inside of my skull. It's also really impressive from a visual perspective, and if I was obligated to include the opening for After the Rain on this list, I'm mega super ultra obligated to include the opening for Pop Team Epic. The biggest thing I can applaud this opening for is the way that it always has something happening on screen, even if a lot of it doesn't make sense without some knowledge of the manga. I do want to come out and say, however, that what separates these references and in-jokes from the ones in After the Rain is that one show is a serious romantic drama, and the other is the animated adaptation of a shitpost. I really like this opening because they needed to capture a series that's difficult to capture in the 23-minute runtime in about a minute and a half, and all things considered, they did a pretty good job. I'm sure all of you will have heard this opening by now thanks to Giguk. In fact, that's how I found it myself. Flashback by Miyavi vs. Kenken assaults the senses by using color and movement to keep the audience glued to the screen. It also helps that the song worms its way into your head faster than nearly any other opening this season. It makes sense that in the opening for a series about stopping time, there would be quite a few references to time. One, at 7 seconds in, we're shown the interface of a digital clock, followed by a heavily stylized eye with other interfaces behind it. At around 12 seconds, we see an hourglass rotating until it decides to stop. At 24 seconds, we see a dark screen with a ticking pendulum, and those are just a couple of them. I could probably do a video on this one like I could for the Hakata Tonkatsu Ramen's opening, so if you want to see something like that, please let me know in the comments. Well, that's that. If you'd like to see me expand on any of the openings in this list, please let me know either by leaving a comment or hitting me up on Twitter at Pixelation_. Here's the question of the day! If you had to pick one anime opening from winter 2018 to listen to above all others, which would you pick? While you're answering that, please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this, and hit the like button to support this channel. Hey there, it's Pixelation. Thanks for watching this episode of Anime Ambush. If you're new here, I post anime and gaming reviews and analysis content every week, as well as the occasional Let's Play or stream. Click the video on the left to be taken to a video that I recommend this week, or the right to see a video catered to your interests. Until next time, this has been Pixelation, reminding you to stay pixelated.